Chapter 10 Santo Tomás changes Cofradia, December 22nd, 2014. In the mornings, I often spent time with friends or the administration. When I returned to begin the initiation process, I would typically spend the morning hours with Doña Tomasa and Sebastiana, then participate in the cultural life of the town in the afternoon. This particular day was another busy day for the administration. It had begun at 5 a.m. with the ceremony and election of the new authorities of the Maya administration, the Autoridades Ancestrales de la Alcaldía Indígena. The elected men would take their places on January 1st. The mayors of the other municipal communities had arrived with their assistants the night before and needed to be attended by the administration. Bands were playing and fireworks had been exploding since dawn. The town was bustling. It was loud, crowded, and busy. Since 9 a.m., Don Tomás and his entourage were engaged in the change of the Brotherhood of Santo Tomás. Every saint, icon, has a brotherhood, a Cofradia, to take care of him throughout the year and grant the community access for prayer. With marimba, drum, and chirimia music playing through the incense-laden streets, Don Tomás led the first mayor of the new Santo Tomás Brotherhood, the honorable carriers of the icons, the local authorities of the 87 communities, and the shaman priests, dancers, musicians, invitees, and attending community in a circle around the market and town for an hour and a half until they arrived at the street down the hill to enter the Santo Tomás new home. This coming year, the patron's new brotherhood would be on this street near the cemetery, where his newly voted-in mayordomos lived. Santo Tomás would be placed here in a specially dedicated room where devotees could visit him throughout the following year. Many of them would have personal encounters with the saint, as would I. That afternoon, after my meeting with Dona Tomasa and Sebastiana, I went there to attend the handing over of the saint to a new brotherhood. The icons were staged in front of the property all by themselves on the street, a strange sight considering the amounts of people around them usually. Where was everybody? I peeked in by the gate and saw the place was packed with about 100 invitees. From the bright sunlit patio, I entered into the sacred room where Santo Tomás would be placed later on and where he would stay for 365 days. Tomorrow there would be another celebration in which his new clothes, carefully fabricated by one of the town's ritual clothing specialists, would be presented. On benches around the walls of the dark room sat about 50 men of the Brotherhood, dressed in the black and red tradition of Chichicastenango. In their midst sat Don Tomás, whose hand I kissed respectfully. I also kissed the new mayordomo's hand respectfully and waved greetings to the other men. The ritual dancer, carrying Tzicholach, moved around the room. He danced up to me and tapped the pouch that was bound to the wooden rider's horse. I pulled out a bill from my wallet and placed it, as expected, in the little pouch of the icon. The dancer smiled, content, and gave me a wet kiss on the cheek. I tried to wipe it off unnoticed, but everyone noticed, and the cofrades burst out in laughter. The ice was broken once again, even with those who didn't yet know me. People here have seen so much sorrow, and the calendar rituals are repetitive, so any reason for a good laugh is welcome. All the festivities that seem new and exciting to an outsider are a serious responsibility and a lot of work for the administration and the brotherhoods. The events of the yearly calendar must be executed in the utmost detail, and there were many of them throughout the year. Although the Maya value repetition, they also love anything that brings a little change to their ritualistic, authoritarian, male routine, and that little lady from a foreign country did just that. Back on the patio, atol de jicara, the sacred hot corn beverage, also called posh, was served to everyone. The women had cooked it in large boilers and then brought it from the back of the house to the patio, where they poured it into small clay cups, which were passed from attendee to attendee until everyone had one. When the cup came to me, I swallowed the first sip and almost fainted. To this day, I still don't know if there were germs in it or if the beverage just had a strong spiritual effect on me. But I certainly felt immediately that I was part of the community in spirit. It was similar to, but more intense than taking the hostia, the body of Christ, in a Christian church. The women especially got a kick out of seeing me, a white person, drinking the traditional beverage. I laughed and chatted with them, although many were unfamiliar with the Spanish language. We sat on the long bench, and the special occasion bonded all of us together, making us feel as one. It was quite amazing that they had taken me in, considering that these people all had family members or friends who had been killed by white people in the recent past during the guerrilla war. Not every Maya was as forgiving or otherwise a holy person, but the notion of forgiveness and peace was something they all grew up with and fostered every day of their lives. I was grateful of their warmth and open acceptance of me personally and in my role as, quote, ambassador, unquote, of the Euro-American culture. Though I had only that day left in Guatemala, I felt intrigued what my next visit to the country would bring.